organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up this morning on Daily Iowan TV, a weekend frenzy. Iowa City Police investigate an assault that took place in the Ped Mall. And protest on the Pennacrest. See how Iowa City residents are responding to a newly passed legislation.
At the list of pre-existing conditions, and I can probably guarantee you that you or someone you know will have a condition on that list and be affected by this.
And in sports, find out how one Hawkeye made history on Sunday.
Got a little bit of rain coming our way before graduation. Find out more during our weather segment.
All that and more coming right up. Don't go anywhere. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good morning, Iowa City, and thanks for tuning in to our Monday morning newscast. I'm Nikki Crossway. Early Sunday morning, a stabbing occurred at the Iowa City Pedestrian Mall. Police responded to the call at around 1 a.m. and were able to locate the victim and apprehend the suspect. Despite being reported to have multiple stab wounds, police say the injuries are not life-threatening. As of this morning, the case is still under investigation with no further information available. Stick with Daily Iowan this week for more. Yesterday afternoon, Burge Residence Hall suffered from a flood that caused a minor evacuation. After sprinklers were set off in one of the rooms, some students who lived on the third floor had to move their belongings outside. While many initially thought this was caused by a fire, University of Iowa officials confirmed there was no fire and no students were hurt from the incident. Around the same time as the evacuation, much more was happening just down the street. Several people were coming together to protest on the Pennacrest. Daily Iowan TV reporter Christopher Cervantes was there and brings us more.
Sunday, May 7th saw the latest protest directed toward the Trump administration, one organized not even a week after the inciting incident. As you can see behind me, several Iowa City citizens have come together in what they call a die-in, a protest that they hope will rectify a piece of what they consider to be sickly legislation. That legislation in question is the American Health Care Act and the repeal of the Affordable Care Act, as well as raising awareness of the repercussions, mainly the now infamously long list of pre-existing conditions that are either looking at an increase in insurance premiums or simply being dropped completely.
We're just demonstrating how many different people can be hurt if they're denied coverage because of the pre-existing conditions or are denied insurance in general because they can't afford it.
As the demonstration went on, participants were encouraged to speak on their own pre-existing conditions and how their loved ones would be affected if the legislation were to pass. And then, silence. Reporting from the University of Iowa Pennacrest, this is Christopher Cervantes, Daily Iowan TV.
Less than a day after the university awarded former athletic director Jane Meyer a $1.4 million settlement in her discrimination case, President Bruce Harreld made a major announcement. The university, quote, will hire an independent firm to conduct an external review of university employment practices as defined by the Iowa City Civil Rights Act. This review will begin with the UI Athletics Department. The statement was released from Jeanne Beck, the UI Assistant Vice President for External Relations. Stick with the Daily Iowan as we follow more on the investigation in the upcoming grease bomb trial. Last Wednesday, an unknown culprit vandalized a mural belonging to the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. While the mural has since been restored and cleared of the offensive symbol, University of Iowa Department of Public Safety is looking further into the situation. If you have any further information, please contact the University of Iowa Police Department at 319-335-5022. Stick with us in the Daily Iowan as we follow the issue further. The UI has been recognized nationally several times for its efforts to preserve the environment. Daily Iowan reporter Alexis Tansey has more on the sustainability initiatives here at the UI.
Former President Sally Mason urged the university to focus more on sustainability within its programs. Since then, the university has decided to set 7 sustainability goals to reach by the year 2020. These goals include increasing energy, decreasing waste production, and supporting sustainability learning and research within the UI community.
My predecessor looked at what are the goals that we should focus on. You really have to see where is our greatest impact. So where do we make the biggest impact, and then how are we most impacted by?
One specific goal the UI has set is diverting waste by 60% by the year 2020.
Expanding on what we already have, so we really have a very good system in place currently for just your typical recycling, single stream recycling, stuff that goes in the regular blue recycling bin. But there's still some stuff that's in the trash that should be in the recycling bin instead.
The Office of Sustainability is a resource that students can go to if they have questions or want to get more involved with the UI's sustainability initiatives. Summer break may be coming up quickly for UI students, but as Sarah Maples said, sustainability at the UI happens all year round. This has been Alexis Tanzi, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, unfortunately, it is finals week, but we have graduation at the end of the week to look forward to. Hopefully, we can look forward to some nice weather heading into graduation. Let's toss it over to Ryan in the weather studio. Ryan, what do you have for us?
That's right, Nikki. Hopefully it will be nice for graduation, but finals week looking a little rough. As you can see right here, we got a bunch of clouds coming in. Those are going to stick around the rest of the day, so it will be a good day to be inside and studying at least. Right now we're seeing temperatures in the low to mid 50s. Looking ahead to our afternoon, we're seeing highs reaching the mid 60s, still with partly cloudy skies. As we move into the evening hours, temperatures will barely cool down to the lower 70s, and tomorrow morning we're expecting temperatures in the mid 50s. Make sure you also have an umbrella on hand because we're seeing a high chance of thunderstorms as well. Now let's take a look at our 6-day forecast. Looks like temperatures will be nice for graduations coming up this weekend, but we'll have to brave some rain before we get there, so let's get to it. Tuesday, highs in the upper 60s with cloudy skies. Wednesday, highs in the low 70s with possible rain showers. Thursday, our highs drops to the mid 60s with more possible showers. Friday, highs in the upper 60s, nearly 70s with sunny skies. And we really couldn't have picked a nicer weekend for graduation. All weekend, we're seeing highs in the low 70s with cloudy skies. Sunny skies, excuse me. Well, that's all we have here in the weather studio. I myself am graduating at the end of this semester, so this will be the last time I get to say, so here it goes. Stay dry out there, Hawkeyes. Nikki, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. I'll make sure to enjoy the sun today before the rain makes its way over. As we enter the second weekend of May, Iowa City's Gateway Project will soon hit its one-year anniversary. Although the Gateway Project is the top reason for heavy traffic on North Dubuque Street, Iowa City residents can now take a look at the progress. As you can see, the arches and the new bridges are now formed, as well as the new wall along the Iowa River's bank. The main reason for this effort is to prevent flooding by significantly raising Dubuque Street and the new Park Road Bridge above flood levels. The Gateway Project is on track to be finished by August 2018. This summer marks another big construction project, only this one might be something that university students are looking forward to. The Board of Regents approved a $33.5 million budget for a new psychology building located on Gilbert Street and Iowa Avenue. The completion date is slated for summer 2019, with classes beginning that following fall. It's hard to think about how Iowa City was 10 years ago. This year, the Confucius Institute celebrates its 10-year anniversary at the University of Iowa. Reporter Tian Liu has more.
The Confucius Institute at the University of Iowa is a collaborative project between the international program and the East China Normal University in Shanghai. The purpose of the Confucius Institute is to help people to develop their understanding in Chinese language and culture. Unlike the University of Iowa Chinese program, the Confucius Institute is more like a resource center for the university and the community.
The Chinese program are offering credit classes for University of Iowa students to learn Chinese. And another thing is that we don't have any classes going on that's non-credit for, and everybody else, for community members.
A specialty of Confucius Institute is doing research on how to teach Chinese as a foreign language. In fact, there are some collaborations between the Confucius Institute and the Chinese program.
Our visiting teachers from China we recruit every year also help to teach some of the beginning to intermediate level Chinese credit courses in that department.
Other than that, the Confucius Institute also recruits Chinese international students to help with class activities and cultural events.
One thing we do here is to help with the communication between Chinese international students and American students so they get to know each other better.
From 2006 to 2017, the Confucius Institute has already become a part of the Iowa City community. I'm Tian Liu, reporting from the University of Iowa, Daily Iowa TV.
I heard one former Hawkeye made history this weekend. Let's talk it over to Katie in the sports studio, find out who that was.
That's right, Nikki. Now, the Canadian Football League draft took place Sunday night, and former defensive tackle Faith Akakity made history as he was the #1 pick of the night by Winnipeg. Now, this is the first time a Hawkeye has ever been the first pick in the CFL. Akakity was invited to mini camps for the Colts and the Giants, but he decided to sign a 2-year contract with Winnipeg instead. He will head to Canada on May 23rd as the preseason starts June 10th. Now, the softball team was the only Hawkeye sport home this weekend, and they finally had some beautiful weather to play in. Reporter Lucy Rodine has more from Bob Pearl Field.
The Hawkeyes fell 2-1 in their final home series against Northwestern this weekend. Game 1 took place on Friday night, and it got off to a quick start for the Hawks, with Iowa taking a 2-run lead in the first. But that was not enough for the Hawkeyes, as Iowa could not hold off Northwestern. The Wildcats scored 2 runs in the 3rd and 5th and secured their 5-2 victory with a run in the 7th. On Saturday, the Hawks looked to bounce back from Game 1, and they would need extra innings to do so. Iowa went into the 7th down by a run, and freshman Leah Thompson scored the tying run for the Hawks. The next 4 innings went scoreless until the top of the 11th, when Leah Thompson stepped up again, scoring the winning run and giving Iowa the Game 2 victory. Game 3 of the series got off to a rocky start for the Hawks. Northwestern scored 2 runs in the first inning off freshman pitcher Allison Ducey. The Hawks were never able to recover, losing the final game of the series 5-3.
We have a big chance of playing Northwestern again, so it was good for us to see them this whole weekend. We know what they have, and we just need to be more consistent on offense. These past 2 games, we scored early and then didn't score throughout the middle of the games.
Caitlin Malarkey is one of the 4 seniors that played their last game at Bob Pearl this Sunday. However, their time in an Iowa uniform isn't over yet, as they'll compete in the Big Ten tournament.
You just need a lot of energy and that fire to drive you through the tournament. I think we're really hungry for it. We got left out last year, and that's something that sat with us this whole year, so we're ready to make a big impact in this tournament.
We're an opportunity to get in the Big Ten tournament, and we'll find out our seeding tomorrow, but it doesn't really matter who we've got. We're ready to get there, ready to get to Michigan, get there, play the game, attack whoever we've got.
Despite it being an emotional final day here at Bob Pearl Field, the Hawkeyes are looking forward to the Big Ten tournament later this week. Reporting for Iowa softball for the final time this season, this has been Lucy Rodine for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Iowa's seed in the Big Ten tournament will be announced later today. Now, as the team is wrapping up their regular season, we take a look at one freshman who hopes to make an impact next season.
Growing up only 15 miles away from Iowa City and having a mother and father who competed in Iowa athletics, freshman Alex Raff was destined to become a Hawkeye. Head coach Marla Looper is not only pleased with the freshman's athletic ability, but her passion for the state of Iowa.
She's got the love for Iowa, the University of Iowa and the state of Iowa in her heart, and I think that right there, and understanding the history of this program based on her mom and her dad being in the athletic department, but then her mom being a Hawkeye herself, and she takes pride in that, and the fact that she can communicate that with her teammates and show that just by wearing it in her presence and her attitude, I think that's been good for the young ladies in our program.
Coming in here with my parents both playing here, I wasn't really pushed into any sorts. I was just always taught to be the best you can no matter what, in school or in sports, and that's what Iowa really shows, and so I've grown up a Hawkeye, and I've always been a Hawkeye.
With the 2017 season coming to a close, the Iowa Hawkeye softball team will look to freshman Alex Raff to help replace the 4 seniors graduating this season.
Building off of the role she had this year. She's got good speed. She's a utility player. She can play a variety of positions. Sometimes, we get people different opportunities based on the opponent we're facing and our best matchup. So, the future is yet to be written.
With Iowa just finishing their last regular season game of the year, senior Caitlin Malarkey gives some words of wisdom for the young Hawkeye to help her be successful.
Definitely enjoy the process, trust the process. I think my story shows being a walk-on, hard work gives you what you want. Just work hard, trust in our coaches and trust in what they're teaching us and what they want us to do, and eventually it's going to work for us and we're going to be successful.
Reporting from Bob Pearl Field, this has been Zachary Lohman with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
With Raff's passion for Iowa softball and her versatility on the field, the Hawks look to be in good shape come next season. Now, the baseball team grabbed a series win over Michigan State Sunday after winning Friday 3-2, losing Saturday 1-2, and clinching the series on Sunday with a 9-4 victory over the Spartans. This gives the Hawks their 4th Big Ten Series victory this season. The team will be back in action Friday night as they host Ohio State for a 3-game night series. Now, make sure to tune in tomorrow for a look at one Iowa coach's daughter and her career as a Hawkeye. And now for the last time anchoring for Daily Iowan TV, this has been Katie Sextro. It's been a pleasure bringing you everything Hawkeye sports. Nikki, back to you.
That concludes this Monday morning broadcast. From all of us here at Daily Iowan TV, I'm Nikki Crossway. Have a great day, Iowa City. And on a personal note, it's been a wonderful experience being your Monday anchor. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.